Liverpool fans, major developments are emerging around Anfield, with Virgil van Dijk reacting to Jeremy Jacquet's debut, Hugo Ekitike and Trent Alexander-Arnold responding to Ibrahima Konaté's message, while Bradley Barcola and Cody Gakpo also dominate the latest headlines. You're watching Anfield Wire, bringing you the latest Liverpool news, transfer updates, and squad developments. Subscribe now and turn on notifications so you never miss the next Liverpool update. Virgil van Dijk reacts to Jeremy Jacquet debut and pretty clear thoughts on connection. Virgil van Dijk will line up alongside one of Jeremy Jacquet or Ronald Araujo next weekend when the new Premier League season kicks off for Liverpool away at Newcastle. When Virgil van Dijk lines up for Liverpool against Newcastle next weekend, he will do so alongside a new centre-back partner in the first game of a new era. Ibrahima Konaté has departed and Joe Gomez is injured, so Andoni Iraola will select one of Jeremy Jacquet, who was excellent against Como this weekend, or Ronald Araujo, who made his debut in the second half. Either way, Van Dijk was pleased with what he saw from both players on their first appearance, even if he is keen not to get carried away. "I think Jeremy did well, same as Ronald," Van Dijk told reporters. "It's a start, a good start, so hopefully he can crack on. I think came out of it a bit tired, but it's absolutely normal when you're playing your first 45 minutes after such a long time. Now it's down to him to recover. We'll be back on the pitch tomorrow morning, and then we're working towards Newcastle. St. James's Park will be always a tough one. Across the pitch, there are new relationships being forged. Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz, having played so little together last season because of the former's injury issues, for instance, need to work on their connection. The same can be said of Orion Gravenberch and Dominic Szoboszlai midfield pivot, which is still being worked out, and at the back as well, with Xhaka only 45 minutes into his Liverpool career. "By playing games," Van Dijk said when asked how he intends to build on the chemistry. "I won't say it's the only way, but games are totally different than training. Jeremy's English is, I would say, a bit better than Ronald's, but at the end of the day, we are all pretty good footballers. We can see and smell some moments on how to defend certain situations. But it's pretty clear that you need to form a connection together, and that takes a bit of time. In my opinion, that's absolutely normal, but hopefully we can get that going as quickly as possible." Liverpool ended pre-season with a win, and also managed to show an increased level of sharpness compared to the week prior. Cody Gakpo scored, and Jacquet found the back of the net too. When the Reds saw a 2-0 lead turned around against Monaco, Iraola called on his players to improve, and 7 days later, they managed to control things much better. "What I see is that no team in world football can play full intensity for 90 minutes, Van Dijk said. "Obviously, at a certain point, you're going to have some moments where players or we all get to a position where we're going to be a bit tired. Then it's down to us to make sure that we are compact and find the right moment to press again. I think we did that much better than we did the last game. Obviously, everyone's eager to go and to press and keep their intensity up, but it's a team game and we need everyone together in order to be able to do that. That goes in phases through the game. But if you do that at the right time, at the right moment, then you don't need to run as much as we sometimes do. That means at times when there is a throw-in, a free kick, you have to maybe play it even quicker in order to keep the ball a little bit longer. But it's a process, and we're working on that. Today, there was definitely improvement in my opinion. Obviously, when you play the previous two games, you are 2-0 up and you give it away. I think that's something you can't have happening again. I'm glad we did much better in that sense." Hugo Ekitike and Trent Alexander-Arnold respond to Ibrahima Konaté message. Former Liverpool star Ibrahima Konaté is settling into life at Real Madrid as the defender looks ahead to his future with his new club for the upcoming campaign. Ibrahima Konaté got his first taste of life at Real Madrid, with the former Liverpool star making his unofficial debut for the club in a pre-season friendly over the weekend. The 27-year-old made the controversial switch to Los Blancos this summer as he announced his exit from Anfield at the end of his contract. It came as quite the shock, considering claims from the defender that he was close to agreeing a new deal earlier this year, but as time dragged on without confirmation, it all pointed toward a move. Real Madrid had loomed large in the background, having poached Trent Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool the year prior in a switch that didn't sit well with many of the Anfield faithful. After those previous Champions League encounters and transfer sagas, Konaté's move wasn't met with jubilation either, as he left for the Bernabeu and a brand new challenge ahead. Before Liverpool supporters could see how the former centre-back settled in at Real Madrid, there was a World Cup for him to compete in, which saw very few minutes handed his way, with France finishing 4th overall. Now he's back from his summer break. Konate was handed his first taste of action with Los Blancos, as Jose Mourinho gave him 45 minutes to impress against Schalke. In that time, the 27-year-old kept a clean sheet, making 1 interception and 2 clearances, as he continues to build up fitness and chemistry with his new teammates around him. He then sent a message on Instagram after the game stating, "First time wearing this shirt. An honor. Hala Madrid." The comments were filled with supportive comments from teammates, old and new, with both Hugo Ekitike and Alexander-Arnold commenting with heart emojis. Other Real Madrid aces such as Kylian Mbappe, Dean Huijsen, Endrick and Arda Güler joined in with comments supporting the star for his first appearance. It all gets started for Real with Konate and his new side next weekend when Los Blancos travel to Barcelona, where they will face off with Espanyol for the opening match of the campaign. It remains to be seen whether the French international will be in the lineup straight away or if he will have to wait for his opportunity to impress. Bradley Barcola's reaction says it all. As Liverpool target makes swift exit, Liverpool is pushing to sign Bradley Barcola in the summer transfer window, with the star appearing far from pleased with his time at Paris Saint-Germain in recent weeks. Bradley Barcola cut a dejected figure as he left Paris Saint-Germain's clash with Lens after the star was left out of the playing roster for the Trophée des Champions final. The 23-year-old has been heavily linked with an exit from the Parc des Princes this summer, with Liverpool the protagonist in his transfer saga and seemingly the main landing spot if the star is to leave. It's a situation that has dragged on for the past month, after Barcola rejected a contract extension, forcing PSG's hand into considering a sale while 2 years remain on his deal. With 3 arrivals in the forward area since that decision, the chances of the French forward leaving have only increased, but with a gap remaining in valuation between Liverpool and Les Parisiens at this point in negotiations. While the clubs still look for a compromise in terms of a final fee, the winger has since returned to pre-season training with PSG, which has raised some issues so far. Barcola was kept on the bench for the UEFA Super Cup final before he was snubbed from the playing roster altogether for the Trophée des Champions French Super Cup final against Lens. The Liverpool-linked star was seen watching from the stands alongside Ibrahim Mbaye, who is also on the radar for the Reds, hinting at the pair being available in the final few weeks of the transfer window. It didn't take long for Barcola to make his exit after PSG lost the tie 1-0 either, as he was spotted cutting a dejected figure through the mixed zone on his way out. The star put his head down, ignoring reporters as he made his way to the exit, perhaps summing up his frustrations at PSG with how his time there may be coming to an end. It's unclear whether that could be his final time watching the European champions as part of the team, with the transfer deadline looming large in the background, but a deal of such magnitude could still take some time to thrash out the details. While Barcola has stayed quiet on the situation, his manager, Luis Enrique, has hinted at the situation surrounding him and other potential exits in the market already this summer. "I'll talk about the situation after the transfer window has passed," the head coach said about Barcola and Mbaye directly after the match on Sunday. While those links have persisted, the manager hasn't exactly shut down the fact that both stars could leave, as Liverpool continues to push for the pair at a price that will work for the club moving forward. It remains to be seen how things will play out, but a double swoop could end up being ideal for both the players and the clubs involved in the situation. Andoni Iraola witnesses Cody Gakpo message firsthand amid Tottenham transfer links. Liverpool star Cody Gakpo continues to show his qualities to Andoni Iraola, with the head coach seeing firsthand the quality that the Dutch winger has in pre-season. Cody Gakpo's future at Liverpool may be uncertain, but he certainly hasn't played like someone who is feeling the weight of that transfer speculation in pre-season. The winger has been the subject of interest from Tottenham, with Roberto De Zerbi keen to add the forward to his ranks in the final few weeks of the summer transfer window. The 27-year-old has a long-term contract at Anfield, but with potential changes coming out wide for Liverpool, the possibility of joining Spurs has seemingly increased as the market has dragged on. Reports claim that Gakpo has agreed personal terms with Tottenham, with club-to-club negotiations remaining as the only major hurdle to clear before a deal can be sealed. With a stance set over seemingly wanting to leave Liverpool, some players would perhaps rein in their performances a bit or hold some in reserve while thinking about that next move. But that isn't the case for Gakpo, who is showing himself to be the model professional, while he is still looking to earn a place in Andoni Iraola's team. The Netherlands international impressed in his return to action against Monaco, but it was his display against Como on Sunday that truly caught the eye. Gakpo picked up a goal and an assist for the Reds, finishing off a team move for the opener before teeing up Jeremy Jacquet with a cross to the back post for the second. It was perhaps the clearest message yet to Iraola that the star is capable of playing in this new-look Liverpool team, with plenty of quality at his disposal to make the most of opportunities. It's unclear whether that will change the club's stance on Gakpo, which appears to be open to the sale of the star, if the right offer appears in the final few days of the transfer window. That might have to take into account the other wide options that could arrive on the market, with Liverpool eyeing a deal for Bradley Barcola to strengthen his preferred left flank, while Ibrahim Mbaye could also join to strengthen the right wing. That's without mentioning the arrival of Victor Munoz, who is a versatile option across the front line, as well as the competition that Rio Ngumoha could provide on the left or the right. It all sets up a rather interesting few weeks for the Merseyside outfit, with it being unclear exactly who could be available for the opener against Newcastle and beyond when it comes to transfers in and out of the club. However, Gakpo has sent the clearest message yet that he could be the ideal fit for Iraola, even if his struggles last season left many frustrated.